This video is going to be pretty long, so hopefully you enjoy it. What I ate before, so in the 3.5-ish weeks before it, I ate super clean. I had absolutely no oil. I didn't eat out at any restaurants. I had fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, and then pretty much every single dinner was either potato or sweet potato with cucumber, lettuce, raw salad. And there was only one day that I had some pasta. But yeah, just basically like very clean, raw with a little bit of cooked food, and I felt great. I was very lightweight, consistently kind of 83 to 85 kilos, which is pretty light for me being 195 centimeters tall. Food was on point. So transport on the day, I stayed in Kawerau, the town, so I didn't have to travel very far to the start line. It was good. The hosts at our Airbnb actually took us to the start line, which was great. So I got to sleep in till 5:15 a.m. Ideal, rather than taking a bus, because that didn't really appeal to me. The course was absolutely stunning, so beautiful. I'm glad I got to see all the parts of it, because yeah, it was great. The waterfalls, the streams, the beautiful bush. There's so many parts that I didn't show on camera that I wanted to film, but obviously I was there to try and run, so I didn't really get to show you everything. But if you ever have any interest in doing so, or even if you want to go and walk some of those trails, then I would definitely recommend it, because it was great. It feels like you're so far away, removed from any kind of town or city, and it was very enjoyable. The taper, what I did was a 3-week taper. I had my biggest week of 130 Ks. That was 7 days running straight with a 35K long run on the Sunday, and from there I did 70, just under 40, and then 2 short runs on the week of. And it worked well. I definitely had patches where I was not loving it. My legs felt like shit. And even about 4 or 5 days, so the last week before the event, there was kind of, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, my legs felt average, and I thought, uh-oh, this isn't good. But they came right. I had a little run on the Thursday, and legs were just the best they could have felt, I reckon, on the Saturday, the day off. So I'm stoked with that. 3-week taper for a big endurance event. It seems to work well for me. Run through of the day. I'm going to go through it while it's all fresh in my mind and just tell you everything that I can remember and everything that was significant. Yeah, rain in the morning wasn't really the good mental thing. You wake up and you get rain, you're just like, oh, but you know, to me it's only water. It is what it is. You're not going to change it. That's the event day. It's no big deal. Into it. Got down, had my vegan top on and everything. Felt good at the start line. No pressure, no stress. Feeling relaxed. Had a really good night's sleep. Slept from about 9:30 till 5:15 in the morning, which is ideal. The Hooter horn thing went off. A whole bunch of people, I'd say massive, like half the field took off really quick. I kind of just went with it for a little bit, knowing that I'd settle into a pace pretty quick and knowing to not blast off at some crazy pace, which I didn't. So yeah, after everything kind of spread out and everyone was kind of in their spot, then I just backed it right off to like 6-minute pace and a little bit above 6 minutes, which is where I wanted it. Through the golf course, through the first kind of single track, you have to slow down a little bit because there's that many people, and that was fine. It was good. It just kind of made me a little bit patient, and yeah, that was ideal. From then into the forestry roads, and they were just, you know, some little hills and stuff, no big deal. I was sitting at 6:08 average pace, slightly quicker than where I wanted. Happy enough there. I thought, oh, if it's like this for the majority of the way, then I might even go quicker than I expected. Wasn't to be the case, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Yeah, on to where were we? Probably like 30. I think it's the outlets aid station, and yeah, it's still going good. After that, it really was like, okay, this is a lot more technical. There's lots more rooty sections, rocky sections, a lot more twist and turn than I was expecting. Less of the forestry road. After that was pretty much done, and then yeah, the pace slowed down because I couldn't run through those sections that quick. You just, some of them you don't want to put your foot in the wrong place and trip or it's just like you have to slow it down. I couldn't run through it. I hadn't trained on that. Maybe if I did some more training on that, then I could keep my pace a bit more consistent, but no, it wasn't going to happen. And yeah, it's still pretty much where I wanted to be. It was sort of slowing down at that stage. Getting through to marathon distance, I was happy enough in my energy levels. I was feeling good. But yeah, I was just kind of like, all right, this is the course. I wasn't really expecting it to be this technical and rocky sections that you have to climb over and stuff like that, which, yeah, I didn't anticipate for. And yeah, you just have to slow down and go with it. It was cool. It was no big deal. Aid station, so the first aid station, I topped up both bottles. The next aid station was only, I think, 5k after the first one, so I just skipped it because I had plenty of water. I had plenty of food at the aid stations, and I had plenty of food on me, so it wasn't the biggest deal. Watermelon at the aid station was so good, like the best thing, because it's cut up, you can just munch it, you can have as much as you want. It was ideal. And yeah, back to kind of like middle of 45-ish k, that's where I tripped and nailed this knee, and yeah, it was sore, but it wasn't the end of the world. Blood all down my leg, looked pretty hardcore. But yeah, just got up and carried on. After coming down, I also got cramp, which is, hey, it is what it is. I tripped 2 other times and almost tripped about 10 other times throughout the day, but saved it luckily. And I don't know, it's all part of it to me. It's no big deal really. Through 50k, it was good to get to halfway. 51. Yeah, good to get to halfway and know that, looking pretty good at that stage. Up until 50, there was no spectators. Up until 58k, no spectators, because the forest was closed due to the fire risk. That's the way it is. But then got to Okataina aid station, and that is the best aid station without a doubt. You pop out of the bush and there's just heaps of people everywhere. They've got a PA system, and people are clapping and screaming, and not screaming but yelling, and it was great. You're kind of isolated by yourself, and then all of a sudden there's heaps of people, and it makes you feel good. There was my mate Daniel as well. He was filming on this camera, so I got to see him, and that was 58k, so it was almost at my biggest, which was 60 prior to that. So getting through that, you leave, you go up a pretty steep hill, and I knew that there was a big hill. So going up it, I thought, this seems a little bit smaller than what people are talking about. So I wondered if it was actually the hill. It wasn't. Got through that hill, through this kind of open grassy section. Then you kind of pop into the bush, swing round to the left, and there's a little sign on a tree, and it's got a little picture of a Kiwi actor with a gun, and it says, "Shit just got real." And it definitely did, because that climb is savage, and it's 60k, and it is very, very tough. Going up that climb, you'll see in my video if you watched it, I said hopefully I was at the top. I wasn't. It's a long climb. It just kind of keeps going up and up, very steep, very tough, and no real kind of view at the top or anything. It's kind of a bit underwhelming if you're after a view at the top, but to be honest, all I was after was getting to the top and getting over the other side, because that was the highest point, and after that, mentally, it was all downhill, as I mentioned in my video, and that does wonders for you when you're doing an ultra and you want to get home. After that, that section was tough, because I had 2 small mini pumps, or mini bottles on me, and by the top of the climb I was already down 1. I was putting some on my head, some drinking, and that was the biggest gap between aid station 16k, just over 16k, so I only had 1 bottle left, which was kind of like, oh, but I made it. Got to the next aid station. I really hydrated after that one, and had some oranges as well. This camera just died, so I'm going to do the rest on the phone, because the light is fading and I want to get this on YouTube before I forget it. To Miller Road was the next one. As I said, I hydrated a whole lot. I had, I was feeling pretty good at that stage, and then it was kind of like out of the bush onto the gravel trail. Well, it was a road, and off towards the Blue Lake, so definitely getting a lot closer to home, which was fantastic. Daniel was going to meet me at that one, but he had to do quite a long ride to get to that aid station, so he didn't end up being there, which is no big deal. But yeah, heading towards the Blue Lake, and just no one around me. It was kind of like no man's land. It was very split up at that stage, compared to the start. Compared to the start, there was lots of people around. You could see them in front of you, behind you, but then by that stage, getting towards the Blue Lake, just no one around. Getting towards the Blue Lake was cool. Like, I was definitely feeling a whole lot better than I had been going up that climb. That climb was very, very tough. So yeah, round towards the Blue Lake, there's some nice kind of single gravel trail, which is kind of, you know, pedestrian friendly and stuff. So no major climbs, which was great because yeah, 75-ish k in. Life was pretty tough at that stage. Then you get pretty close to the Blue Lake, you see the Blue Lake, and then you have to go all the way around it. And it's not the biggest lake, but again, like, you're looking at it thinking, yeah, you kind of come to this point where you can see where you're about to go later, but you have to go around the lake to get to there. And hey, yeah, again, like this, the elevation wasn't crazy at that stage, so yeah, it's pretty happy, pretty flattish, and not too technical, less rocky sections and all that, which was good because yeah, fatigue was setting in by that stage. Around the back of the Blue Lake, if you've watched my vlog, you'll see that I caught up with Lucy Bartholomew. That was kind of special because yeah, we got to have just a bit of a quick chat really, which was really cool. And yeah, from then she kind of took off. She was kind of a little bit in front and not too fast, so I ended up like kind of seeing her a little bit. And yeah, it's kind of weird being that close to an elite athlete. Unfortunately, like I said in the vlog, she didn't have the best day, and that's the reason that she was at my pace, and that just was the way it was. But yeah, through to the Blue Lake aid station, and my mate Shamiz was there, Daniel was there as well. It was good to see them, it was good to pop out, and again, just hardly anyone around. I had Watermelon at that aid station, that was cool. Sham had just run the 21k and was kind of letting me know what I was in for, which was helpful, but also a little bit sad because he said there was one more brutal climb similar to one that we both know, and I was just not really wanting to hear that, but it is what it is. It's the course, and I was 100% keen to get to the finish, and there was nothing other than falling over and breaking a bone that was going to stop me. So I pressed on, got through the next kind of, yeah, back into the bush after the Blue Lake, and through the gravel kind of section onto that climb that he was mentioning. And yeah, there was parts where I was going up that climb and I wanted to just sit down and stop and rest. If you stop and sit down, then you're that much further from home, and I wasn't interested in wasting any more time. So even if I was moving pretty slow, and it was kind of like an attempted power walk up the climbs, then that's what I was doing, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Got to the top of that, and after that I knew that there's nothing more that was savage in terms of climbing, so that was really, really good. But even coming down from there into the redwoods, it was still kind of lumpy, and at that stage there was no running up any hills, it was walking up every single hill, but then moving into a shuffle, any kind of flat or down. And my shoulder was so sore at that stage. I think it was from falling on it, or yeah, also my pack just wasn't really slapping, but you know, it's pressing on you the whole time, and that was actually the sorest part. My legs were definitely very sore at that stage, and any kind of like moving into a run took a lot of effort, and it was painful, without a doubt. It was very painful. But yeah, pressed on and down closer to the redwoods. Then they have these people sitting at junctions telling you which way to go. One of the guys said, oh, you're 1.5k from the aid station, and I thought I was way close to that, so that was kind of a bit gutting. But again, it is what it is. You keep moving, you're going to get there. And I did. I got there. Daniel was there, he was filming, it was cool. The people at the aid stations were awesome. The volunteers just so good. I can't say enough good stuff about them. Just such legends, helping you fill your bottle, just helping you with anything that they can, and they're just volunteers, so top work from them. Thanks to them. From the redwoods, it was, yeah, out of the bush, which is really good. It's weird when you do these massive endurance events. To me, the sound of combustion engines and cars and stuff is such a nice feeling. It sounds real weird because most of the time I don't really want to be in the city and around cars and traffic and all that, but it's kind of like back to civilization, back to somewhat normality, and it was good, yeah, getting out closer to home through one of the main roads, or under the main road, around to the Sulphur Point, and yeah, I was just looking at my watch going, I've got this much to go and I'm done, I'm getting closer to home. And again, one of the volunteers at the junction said, I thought I had, I don't know, like a K to go or something, and he said, oh, you've got 2.5 to go, and I was just thinking, what the hell? This ain't right. But yeah, just kept going, got to 102, and I was like, I should be done, but was still like coming around the point, and you know, I knew exactly where the finish line was, but it ended up being a little bit longer. It ended up being 103.4. Not what you want when you're almost at the end of an ultra and you've got an extra K&a-half to go. So that kind of sucked when you're at the end, but sucked in a way that doesn't matter. You know, it's like it's a 100k ultra, a K&a-half extra. You're gonna get to the end, and hey, you know, it's just another K&a-half that I did on my first ultra, 100k. So I'm happy with it. At the time, I wasn't loving it, but I'm very happy. So from there, I ran from the redwoods all the way around till about 500 meters to go, and then my legs were just like, just stop, you know, you're pretty much fighting most of your reasons to keep going, and your legs are just saying stop, but I didn't stop, and I walked a tiny little section. I was like, I'm just going to give myself one more little tiny walk, and then I'm just going to drive it to the line. And if you've seen my vlog, I brought the pace down pretty quick. Just always save a little bit for the end, just push on to the line, make it look decent. And yeah, awesome day. Got through, saw my family, friends. You would have heard the announcer say some funny things to me. He said, hey Josh, eat more plants. Oh, he's on Team Vegan, and that's real cool. We had some good chats with other competitors, other participants, and yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. Very tough, but very awesome. That's my wrap up. Getting injured, falling over. What happened there? I tripped. You just glance at your watch. I talk to other people too, they do it. Glance at your watch or look at the view or something, catch one of your foot snags on something, boom, down. And yeah, that's what happened a couple of times prior to that. I tripped and saved it, but then just you get tired, you get fatigued, and you can't save it in time, and down I went. So nailed my left knee first, then did my right knee, wasn't as bad, and then I tripped one more time. One of them was kind of just soft and down, didn't really hurt, but the other two were kind of a bit sore. And yeah, the photo in my vlog, you'll see decent amount of blood to show for it. Today is Tuesday. How's my recovery? Sunday was very tough to walk. I was doing a kind of penguin waddle when I walked, and it was painful. My knees, hips, everything was sore still. Monday, yesterday, I had the day off work, which is good. I probably should have had the day off work today as well, Tuesday, but I didn't. Went back to work. It was alright. Today I feel so much better. I couldn't sit or stand without using my arms, but right now I'm gonna hop up and I can squat without using my hands. So massive difference to be doing a squat on day 3 after an ultra. I don't feel like anything is gonna be injured, or nothing's like standing out as being very sore as a result of the ultra. Obviously there's pain almost everywhere, but it's kind of like general pain, and I feel like it's going to go away quick and I'm going to recover really awesomely. My gear and food, it worked really well. I took my running vest and my bottles were sufficient between aid stations. Happy as can be with it. Food, I did it completely on whole foods, which is a new first for me. Normally I take gels, or I was going to buy some Cliff Bars, but the bike barn I went to didn't even have the flavour I want, so I didn't. And I didn't need them. I did it completely on fruit and 2 sweet potatoes, which I'm very proud about. So no caffeine, no salt tablets, no electrolyte mix, no other unnatural stuff. Will I do it? when I was doing the event on Saturday, I was thinking, hell no, no way, no way. But hey, here we are, day 3 after it, and I feel good about taking on another massive challenge, 100 miler. I'd want to give it a crack. Why not give it a crack and see if you can do it? Especially trying to promote this lifestyle, which I hope to try and come across as doing a decent job at. Then yeah, will it be next year? I don't know. I just kind of met another person on Facebook who's also just done the 100 mile and he wants to give it another go, so we shall see if he's keen. Maybe I'll be keen. Watch this space. Next big event, I won't do anything more massive until next year. Yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of a rest because I've done the 500k ride in December, this one in early February, so it's time to take a bit of a rest and do some smaller things. So I'll do probably 2 marathons this year. One of them maybe at full gas pace, probably, and apart from that, no other big plans at this stage. But next year, yeah, there'll be a massive challenge. What it'll be, you'll find out if you watch my YouTube channel on a regular basis. And I look forward to announcing whatever that'll be when the time comes. If you do have any questions, then please do ask. I will get back to you and answer them. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one.